So welcome again to the surah of or the grammar of the surah 101, Surat Al-Qari'ah. So we will sparse the sentences in this surah, and whenever possible we will go to the word scaling or the patterns and the forms of the words. Let's begin. Al-Qari'atu mal-Qari'ah. So the category of the word would be a noun because of the al, okay, and then the function of the word. Okay, we'll take the strength of the word because it is a noun, therefore it's changeable, and the sign, any sign ending you see there, you just circle it. It is a dhamma here. Now let's go to the pattern. Okay, so the pattern would be fa'ilatun, right? So fa'ilatun, or if you omit the ta, feminine ta, then it becomes fa'ilun. Fa'ilun would be form 1 active noun. Form 1 active noun, and the connotation would be er, or the one who whatever the F1 verb meaning. So you say F1, it means you take the 3 root letters, which is qaf ra'ain. So qaf ra'ain, you look at the dictionary and it will say that the meaning is to strike. Therefore you plus the connotation, which is er, plus strike, it becomes striker. Striker, or one who strikes, or something that strikes. So that would be the 1D meaning. So that is the process of getting the 1D meaning. You get a pattern, fa'ilatun or fa'ilun. You get the F1 meaning. You get the F1 verb, which is qara'a. You get F1 meaning to strike. You plus the connotation er, it becomes striker. Of course, if you are not sure of the meaning, the pattern, you go to your noun chart. I think it's noun chart 1 or noun chart 2. Okay, so that's how you get that's how you scale the word. Okay, now you go to the function and the force. Sorry, let's go to the 2D and 3D meaning and 4D meaning. Now when we talk about qari'atun, it is said to be one name of day of judgment, one of the names for day of judgment. So it would be translated even as qari'ah, the word qari'ah, it's translated as day of judgment and so on. Sometimes it's translated as the striking hour, for example. Okay, so the striking hour, and usually it will be spelled as capital and H capital. So in this case this 3D meaning or 2D meaning, it's quite overlapping. So it can go either way. It can go 2D or 3D. In this case 2D and 3D is not really important to differentiate, in the sense that at the first level you have to just differentiate between 1D and then 2D and 3D. As in, if you look at our table or matrix of meaning, right? So on top there's 1D and 4D, and then at the bottom you have 2D and 3D. So as long as you can differentiate between the top and the bottom, that's fine. So even if you mix 2D and 3D, it's fine, because both are common. It's just that 2D is common and 3D is common specific. Okay, we're not going to 4D of the meaning of Al-Qari'ah in this video because of time, and because we have like maybe 11 verses, 9 to 11 verses to finish off. Okay, so let's go to the function. Now, as you can see here in this on your screen, I have written down all the possible functions, all the possible categories, all the possible forms, all the possible forms there, for nouns at least. So at least for this slide you can see all that. So function, so this is a noun, okay, and the noun al-qari'ah is a noun, and then it's definite with an al, okay. So there are many possibilities of functions here, a few, but I'll just stick with one. The rest may be shared in live sessions. So function, definite noun, therefore in the beginning, therefore it's SOV, subject of verb. Okay, now then let's go to we'll find the predicate. Oh, sorry, it's not subject of verb, it's subject of noun. Subject of noun, let me just cancel that. So it's subject of noun. Okay, so when you have a subject of noun, you have to find a predicate of noun, right? Predicate of nominal, subject of nominal. So we go to the next one, which is ma. Okay, ma. Okay, now ma is as a category, it's an interrogative pronoun. So you have 5 pronouns there, you can choose one. Interrogative because it means what. Means what here. So it's like there's a question mark at the end of the second of al-qari'ah. And then now, by the way, this is at the beginning of a sentence, right? Because it's the verse ended with just one word for the previous verse. So because it's a noun, and all pronouns are definite, in the beginning usually we just say it's a subject of noun. Again, so wa, and then the next one is al-qari'ah. So same thing, the meaning is the striking hour. We take the common meaning. So it becomes what is the striking hour, right? What is the striking hour? I'll just write down. Okay, what is the striking hour? So as you can see here, whenever you have ma as an interrogative pronoun, then you would have a noun after that, as so we'll just say it's a predicate of nominal. So you're done with the second one, and then in terms of force, it's a push force. Okay, so it's a push force, pushing the predicate of nominal. So that's how you do it. Okay, so now let's get back to al-qari'ah, because al-qari'ah is needing a predicate of nominal. Okay, now one way to do this is there are a few ways to do, which is a bit complex. I'll just introduce to you a simple way. You just assume a predicate. Okay, so it's as if God is saying the striking hour is there. The striking hour is true. The striking hour exists. Okay, so in that sense, the how do you say that in Arabic? You say that in Arabic by saying al-qari'atu mawjudatun. Mawjudatun means existent, or mawjudatun means there. So in that case, al-qari'ah is there. Okay, so the striking hour is there. So the striking hour exists. The striking hour is existent. So in that sense, mawjudatun here is the predicate of nominal. Okay, because it's a noun, and then you assume an is for the translation. Of course, eventual translation you would not really say the striking hour exists. You just say that, you know, the striking hour, the shocker, depending on how you choose the words. Okay, so that's the first two verses. Okay, so now verse number 2. So verse number 2 is وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ. Okay, so we'll take this step by step. Okay, so wa is an, ma is what, same ma just now, and then adra, ka. So ka here means you, and go to ma again, what, and then mal qari'ah, we did this in the previous one. It's the same, they have the same grammatical function, so we won't do this this time around. So the striking hour. So and what now? Whenever you see wama adraka, so adra has the pattern of af'ala. So because originally it's adraya, so the same is the synonymous with a'lama. A'lama. It's a past tense, and the R here, which is an F4. Okay, this is F4 active. The R here, let me just change the color. So the R here means make. Okay, so the R here means make, or in this case, because it's past tense, made. So what made, or you can translate also what makes, based on universal tense. So what makes, then you, what makes you. So dal ra ya, or means no, like ain lam mim. So the way you translate it is like this: and what makes or made you know. Okay, so okay, so in that sense you have, this is the V here, both of this is V, and then this is the OOV, because of meaning. So makes you know. Now and then the every verb has an assumed subject of verb, right? So the car is not a subject of verb because it is object of verb. So you assume an it or a he here. So we assume an it here because it's the proper assumption. So the it will be the subject of verb. Okay, so if you exclude the ma, it becomes adraka, and adraka means it made you know. It made you know. But when you include ma, it becomes what made you know, or what makes you know. You don't say the it because it's referring back to the ma. So that is in terms of the literal meaning of adraka. Okay. All right. So next we go to the function. So the function would be, for wa, would be particle of conjunction, and then the ma here would be what? Ma here would be, remember before this, mal qari'ah. So ma, interrogative noun at the beginning of the sentence. So even though this is conjunction, but we'll just take it as whatever that is after conjunction as the beginning of a sentence, and then we can sort of say everything is a follower conjunction for what comes before the conjunction. So the ma here would be subject of nominal, and the verb adra will be verb also, and then we just said just now that is a subject of verb inside, which is it, and then the ka would be the object of verb. And this is the, what do you call it, the verbal structure, right? We call it VSO, so it's the verbal structure. And then you have a subject or nominal, therefore the subject or nominal pushes the verbal structure, as in the verbal structure is in the position where it is the predicate of nominal for ma. Okay, so a bit confusing if you are new to this adraka structure, but if you just dissect adraka, you will see how this goes. All right, so and then you have mal qari'ah, will be the same as what we did in the first verse. Okay, all right, so in terms of force, the subject or nominal pushes the predicate of nominal, like we said just now, and the verb pushes the subject of nominal and lift the object, subject of verb, and lift the object of verb. So the meaning becomes, and what makes you know what the striking hour is. Okay, we are at verse number 3 now, which is يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث. So يوم, on the day, الناس, the people, يكون, would be, ka, like, al-farash, moths, al-mabthuth, scattered. So on the day the people would be like scattered moths. So now let's take this step by step. You start with yakunu. Yakunu is a verb, right? So now usually kana yakunu kun will be an incomplete verb in the sense that it doesn't have a subject or verb. It comes right before a nominal structure, which means what comes after kana is subject of nominal and predicate of nominal. But in this case, we will treat it as a complete verb to make it easy, because there isn't any predicate sort of there isn't any nominal structure after it. So we'll just take it as normal verb. So therefore, so you have a verb, and then this the one that comes next will be the subject of verb. Okay, so the force would be like this. Okay, it's a push force. It's a push force, and then you have kal farash. Kal ka would be preposition, so particle of preposition. Al farash, object of preposition. As usual, the force would be like this. Okay, and then the linking verb for this preposition would go back to yakunu. Okay, you go back to yakunu, and that's how you fill the gap. And then you have al-farashi, al-mabthuthi, so it's a follower, right? Because of the alignment, so it's a follower adjective, and therefore the arrow goes back to al-farash, and you have that complete connection there. Now you don't have anything on the yawm. Okay, now why yawma, which is a noun, suddenly in the beginning it has a fatha. Now yawma is usually called an adverb, so we say that this is an adverb noun. So we'll just say, okay, usually when you see in corpus or anywhere, it's called an adverb. It's like tahta, inda, fawqa, which means under, above, and so on, which means it's like preposition. Remember how we do preposition? So it works something like preposition, similar to it. So we can also call this preposition, although if you look at usual books, they don't call this preposition. I'm just simplifying this for you all, okay, because grammatically it works like preposition, which means what? Which means if this is a preposition, whatever comes after it would be the object of preposition. So for example, you have yawm al-ahad, so you say yawm al-ahadi, so it drags, right? So preposition drags the word after it. So in this case, if we call this preposition, or if we call this adverb, in terms of grammatical function, there is no difference. Whatever that comes after it is dragged. But then usually whatever comes after it should be a noun, right? But in this case it is a verb. So what we do is that we just take all of it, all the verb and the sentence that begins with the verb, all of it, we say all of it is dragged by yawm. All of it is dragged by yawm. So, and when it's dragged, we call it what? So for our case, we call it object of preposition because it's a preposition. But if you are reading traditional books, you will say this is adverb, and what comes after it is what they call possessive. So so you can choose whichever you like. In Arabic, يوم here is called ظرف زمان, which is adverb of time. So yeah, so here now usually when you have preposition, you have something linking, a linking verb to it, right? So when you have an adverb, you have to link a verb to it. Now there's no verb, so when there's no verb, you assume a verb. Okay, so how do you assume a verb? You just answer the question of mal qari'ah. What is the qari'ah? So the qari'ah, so yawm here means on the day. So the verb would be something like it occurs. It occurs on the day. So yawm as a preposition or an adverb would be linked to the verb occur. Okay, that's it for verse number 3. Okay, so verse number 4 is like verse number 3, right? So verse number 3 is يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث. Okay, so يكون الناس here is تكون الجبال. تكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش. Therefore the grammatical functions for all of this would be the same. Okay, so we'll just translate the meaning. And wa al-jibal, the mountains, which is a broken plural of jabal, the mountains would be or will be like ka al-ihni, wool, al-manfush, teased, because nafasha means tease, and then manfush has the pattern of maf'ul, therefore it's F1 passive noun having the connotation of that which is. So wool, that which is teased or carded or tufted. It basically means teasing. Wool means pulling the fibers of wool apart. So it's some kind like dispersed wool, describing the mountains that have been sort of struck by the qari'ah. Okay, alright, so that's the meaning for verse number 4. Okay, so now it's verse number 5. فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. Fa is a particle of resumption, therefore we don't translate. Amma means as for, is called a particle of condition and explanation. Condition, whenever you see amma, you will see that it will have a sentence and then it will be connected to fa. So if amma man thaqulat mawazinuhu fa, as in amma, as for, then. So as for must have a then after that, which is signified by fa. So that's why you have a fa after this verse. Okay, so man is a relative pronoun, which means one who. So thaqulat's heavy. Thaqula is heavy. The ta is referring to the feminine ta, which is referring to mawazin. Mawazin means scales, which is the plural of mizan. So mawazin is plural, so it's a broken plural. Remember the formula, which is a broken plural, a non-human plural, which is here non-human. So non-human plural is, so non-human plural NHP is equal to feminine. Therefore when you describe them, okay, you use a feminine ta. Okay, so this ta can mean she, it can mean it can mean they. In this case it means they, because it's referring to a non-feminine, a non-human plural, which is mawazin. Okay, so mawazin means scales, and who means his. It's a personal pronoun. Eventually you translate as like this: as for the ones as for the one whose scales are heavy, and then you continue with the next verse. So let's go to grammatical functions. Okay, now this is a watcher, fa is a watcher, amma is a watcher. Now the relative pronoun here is, it's as if you are beginning a sentence, therefore and it's a noun, right? So therefore it becomes the subject of a nominal. So yep, that's subject, and then you have a verb after it, and then every verb has a subject of verb. In this case, the subject of verb is clear, mawazin, a standard noun, not a pronoun. You only find a pronoun for a subject of verb when there is no standard noun being that subject of verb. So in this case, mawazin is a subject of verb. Now whenever you have a noun plus pronoun, personal pronoun, that personal pronoun becomes possessive, and in this case mawazin drags that possessive, and thaqulat pushes that subject of verb. Okay, and then what you have after that is, remember, when you have a relative pronoun, whenever you have a relative pronoun and there must be a verb after it, and you find in the verb, or whatever that is after the verb, that is referring to man. Okay, that's why it's called relative. So you find the relation. So what is that is here, thaqulat mawazinuhu, that is referring to man? It's who. Okay, it's who, which means his is referring to the one who. So in that sense, you relate. Okay, all this verbal structure, there is a relation which is in the who, relates and goes back to man. Therefore you connect all the arrows there. Okay, and if you want the arrow for the watcher, you just write it like that. Okay, so this is for verse number 5. Now verse number 6, remember just now we have amma, and then you have to have a fa after it. So this fa is translated as then. So amma as for, fa then. Okay, so as for the one whose scales are heavy, then he is in. So you assume an is here. He is in a contented life. Okay, so Isha, a life, contented. So a contented life. Okay, so let's go to the category: particle, personal pronoun, particle, noun, noun. So fa would be particle of rizam. No, but it's called jawab shart. It's answer to condition. So it is answer to the conditional, as in answer to amma. Okay, you call it jawab shart in Arabic. So huwa will be personal pronoun. It's at the beginning of a sentence, therefore we say it's the subject of nominal. Fi, particle of preposition. Ishatin, object of preposition. Isha, radiya, can you see that? Follower adjective, therefore the arrow goes back here, and then the preposition drags the object of preposition, and then you see here subject of nominal without any predicate of nominal, therefore you assume that this is the predicate of nominal, therefore subject of nominal pushes the predicate of nominal, and then you have a fi, which is a preposition, and it's a linking verb, so you link back to the is, and you are done. Okay, the fa is sort of a watcher, so yep, that's it for verse number 6. So verse number 8 and 9. So amma man khaffat mawazinuhu fa ummuhu hawiyah. So this is the same as wa amma man thaqulat mawazinuhu. So the only difference is the wa here is a conjunction because it connects with what is before. Amma, man, khaffat, mawazinuhu would be quite the same. Just that khaffat means light. Okay, so the translation would be, and as for the one who is light, or the one whose scales are light, then ummuhu, his abode, is the pit. Okay, is the pit or one of the name of hellfire. So then the fa here will be the same as the fa before, which is jawabu shart, is answer to the conditional amma. Okay, ummuhu, it's like the beginning of a sentence, therefore subject of nominal, noun plus personal pronoun, so it will be possessive, and then hawiya would be the predicate of nominal. Okay, so subject of nominal pushes the predicate of nominal, and this ummu, noun plus personal pronoun, drags the first noun, drags the second noun, which is the pronoun. And this is a watcher, therefore you just put a W there, and that's it for 8 and 9. Now this is the final two verses, which is 10 and 11. So wa here, wa would be what? Wa would be either resumption or conjunction. Okay, so usually either one would do depending on the meaning. We'll just say that this is a particle of conjunction. Ma adraka, we have gone through that in the second verse. And then ma here, so this is like a new sentence, right? So ma here is an interrogative pronoun, so which means what, and then therefore it is subject of nominal, and here becomes predicate of nominal. By the way, this is a personal pronoun, which is actually originally here, like huwa, right? So huwa means he, here means she or it, referring back to referring back to the previous verse, which is hawiya, right? Ummu hawiya. So it's asking, so what is hawiya? So this means it. So what is it? Therefore it becomes predicate of nominal. So why is the ha here then? Why is the ha here? Because of rhyming, right? Because before this there is ummu hawiyah. So you don't say just wama adraka ma hiya narun hamiyah. So to rhyme, so it becomes wama adraka ma hiya. So this ha, this last ha, has no meaning. It's just for rhyming. Okay, so the force will be like that, and then you would have the next one, which is narun hamiyah. Narun hamiyah. Nar is fire, noun and noun. As you can see, this aligns, right? Tanween at the back, dhammatain, and then no al in front. That means it's a follower adjective following the first nar. Therefore, what is the function of nar here? Narun. Is it subject of nominal? By the way, you don't see an al, right? It's not definite, so usually it's not subject of nominal, because subject of nominal in principle has to be a definite noun. Now this is actually a predicate of nominal. Okay, it is as if ma here is saying what is it, what is it, and that is an it is. Yeah, it is. This one is blazing, fire. So a fire, so it is a fire. So there is an it here. This it is the subject of nominal, and then narun is the predicate of nominal. In that case, the subject of nominal pushes predicate of nominal, and the follower follows the noun before it. So there we have it. It's quite a long one, so yeah, if you have any questions, you can just ask in the live session. So the meaning of the last two verses, and what makes you know what it is, or what is it? It is a blazing fire. Thank you, and see you in the live session.